That's why I am such a big fan of the for sale by owner niche and the expired niche and the 30, 60, 90-day late mortgage lead niche and the absentee owner niche and the downsizing niche, because the riches are in the niches. And so the real estate market may change, but in every market, there's always people that need your help. And there's always people that want to sell. And so if we can focus your efforts on going and marketing to people who need your help and people who need to sell, that's the key. And you don't have to wait 6 months, 6 years. Like, you don't have time. Most agents don't have time. They need to figure it out now. So you need to understand that the results are found in the niches, and how you dominate those niches is if you have systems.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Vulcan7 Coaches and Mentors, a show where we bring you the best in the industry to share with you their tips and strategies so that you can implement in your business immediately. Now, with that being said, today we're going to be talking about 5 essential actions that you need to take to become a listing boss and thrive in this new era of real estate. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring on today's guest, Hoss Pratt. Hoss, welcome.
Hi, thanks, Lloyd, for having me.
Absolutely. So for everyone that's watching that maybe is not familiar with you, go ahead and share with us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name's Hoss Pratt. I'm author of the book Listing Boss and also creator of Listing Boss Academy. And I've been in real estate for 20 years. I've helped thousands of real estate agents be able to dominate their market, specifically gaining more freedom in their real estate business by dominating the listing market, by putting signs in the ground and being able to do it very quickly. So that's what my passion is, and that's what I hope to do today, is to help everybody leave y'all better than I found you, with some strategies that could be able to take a lot more listings much faster.
Awesome. And that's absolutely exactly what whoever's tuning in and listening and watching probably wants to know. So Let's dive right in. What would be the first action that any agent needs to take in order to start becoming that listing boss?
Well, you got to understand first off of why it's important to take listings, because if you want freedom in real estate, listings are the key. I mean, most of you got into the business for freedom, and you to be an entrepreneur, to run your own business. But I want to remind you that this is a commission sales business, and in order to achieve freedom in real estate, the key is to not only to control your inventory, but be able to stack your listings, to be able to have as many listings as you possibly can, to be able to not only generate more leads, but also to be able to have other agents working for you. And what a lot of people don't know, Lloyd, is when you have a listing-based business, you actually work less. You don't have to work weekends. Your phone doesn't ring all throughout the night. And so, today I'm going to help you not only if you're brand new, if you're seasoned, it doesn't matter. I mean, I took 30 listings in 30 days when I was 22 years old in a market that I didn't know a single person. So there is a way, and your business can be turned around today. You don't have to wait 6 months. It can all happen very quickly, but you got to have a vision. And the vision starts with what it is that you want. And so the first thing I would tell you was how many listings do you want to take in the next 4 weeks? Like, what is your standard? For me, it was a listing a day. For 15 years, I've been coaching and training agents, but that's my claim to fame, is I would take a listing a day. And the reason is because I set that intention every day. I believe in real estate. We're real estate agents we're appointment setters. Our job is to, yes, it's to sell houses, but without appointments, you don't sell houses. So your job is to set appointments, and the next job is to convert those appointments. So the more you can fall in love with the activity of setting listing appointments, the more successful you're going to be. That's why Vulcan7 is so great, because it provides the fuel and the data for the agent to be able to have the conversations they need to have to set those appointments. But for your notes, know what it is and how many listings you want to take. That would be the first thing, is setting that intention. So if it's 1 a week, 2 a week, 1 a day, it starts there. Planting of the seed so we can go to work to make that happen.
Awesome. So let's say an agent is listening right now and they're saying, you know what, I want to do what he did. I want to take a listing every day, but currently maybe I'm only at 3 listings a month. What needs to change in an agent's mindset in order to see themselves as that agent that is taking more listings and just producing more?
Well, you got to start listening to the people that have done it. First of all, I think that's an important thing. Is and you must change, because that's where all the magic happens. Is outside your comfort zone. Uh, be willing to change, because today is a direct result of your actions over the last 6 months. So if you're not happy with the business today, you're not happy with the amount of listings you have, you're not happy with the results you're getting, then what I would encourage you to do is to change. To change what? Well, oftentimes it's changing a lot of things. It's changing your mindset, it's changing your marketing, changing your systems, changing your conversion, changing your approach. But be willing to make those changes, because everything changes in real estate. Markets change, the economy changes, but those things do not affect our business. They shouldn't. It doesn't. Interest rates do not determine if we're successful or not. The real estate market should not determine if we are successful. What determines if we are successful is how we react to those things. And so getting comfortable with that change is important. And it's easier to change and to feel comfortable changing when you have systems that you have confidence in. That's why I am such a big fan of the for sale by owner niche and the expired niche and the 30, 60, 90-day late mortgage lead niche and the absentee owner niche and the downsizing niche, because the riches are in the niches. And so the real estate market may change, but in every market, there's always people that need your help. And there's always people that want to sell. And so if we can focus your efforts on going and marketing to people who need your help and people who need to sell, that's the key. Those niches will change in different seasons, but you must be willing to change yourself.
So let's say we have identified those niches, expires for sale by owners, absentee owners. How can an agent maximize their time and their effort to make sure that, they're converting at a high level with whoever they're coming across?
You understand this, that the riches are in the niches. So there's two different types of markets. You have the MET database and you have the haven't met database. I'll give you a quick story. When I first got into real estate, I was 22 years old in a market. I moved from, as a country boy from Missouri. I moved to Dallas. I didn't know a single soul here. I just wanted to build a life. I wanted to be successful in something. And so my mentor had me get into real estate. I get into real estate. My first 6 months, and I had no database. My first 6 months, I was just going around meeting 5 people a day, writing handwritten notes, putting them in my database, marketing them every day, 5 people a day. That took I spent $50,000 that first 6 months, and I didn't list a single house. I didn't take a single buyer, not a single piece of business. It wasn't that I wasn't working. I was. But it wasn't until I discovered that I could get data on for sale by owners, where every day I could get a list of FSBOs that every day I'd get a list of the FSBOs of people that wanted to sell their house. 6 months in, and I took my first listing. My second day, my second listing. In 30 days, I had 30 listings. All of them were for sale by owners. I finished my first year in real estate, rookie of the year. I did $9 million in sales. All of it came from the second part of my first year. And they say it was an overnight success. Here's the thing. I tell that story because I need people to know that they too can change fast. And you don't have to wait 6 months, 6 years. Like, you don't have time. Most agents don't have time. They don't have the 50 grand to waste. They need to figure it out now. So you need to understand that the results are found in the niches, and how you dominate those niches is if you have systems. And so you need to manage your time. 9 to noon is the most sacred time in real estate, because you're a maker in the morning and a manager in the afternoon. In 9 to noon, every day, we are prospecting, we're calling, we're doing the door knocking, we're having conversations. Now, let me just pause real quick, because I know there's a lot of buzzwords I just threw out there, like cold calling, prospecting, door knocking. Really, what I mean is having conversations. Because we are in a commission sales, 100% commission sales business, we have to have conversations with prospective sellers and buyers every day. It's just the nature of the beast. It's the nature of real estate. And so for the listeners, no matter if you want to do it, like doing it, it doesn't matter. In real estate, we have to have conversations every day. Those conversations should happen between 9 and noon, because that's when you are able to be most consistent. If we wait till the afternoon to do it, or we do it every other day, you will not get results. So it is paramount to your success that you time block that 9 to noon hour for conversations. You don't ever miss a day. Monday through Friday, those conversations happen. You never miss a day. And the reason is because think about, to be the best at what you do, to be great at anything. You don't become great at anything doing it once a week, 3 times a week, every other day. It's every day. And so the most successful agents that I've ever helped, the most successful agents that I've ever worked with, have gotten to a point where that 9 to noon is the most sacred time, and they never miss a day. They get so good so fast that they make it virtually impossible for people to tell them no. And that's where you will get, our listeners, you will get there. You will get to a place where that 9 to noon hour becomes so good that you're able to set appointments every day. And that's what I help people do. Yeah, I help people do that. I help people set appointments every day. But it starts off with that 9 to noon hour and doing the right things. Because here's how most people wake up, Lloyd, is they wake up and they let their cell phone and their email control their day. They don't know what to do. And so they like, well, who do I call today? And they get a list from Vulcan, and oh man, where do I even start? And they don't know where to start. So here's my advice. You need a system. Those leads every day need to go into your CRM. They need to be put on a campaign, an action plan. And that action plan is what tells you what to do. So think about the leads as the fuel. It's the data. It's the fuel to your vehicle. The vehicle is the CRM, is the system. The vehicle's the driver, but what makes it move. But you're the driver. You drive the vehicle, the fuel comes in. That's how it works. Just like if I'm going on a road trip, I'm going to go to the gas station, put fuel in my vehicle. I'm going to drive the vehicle. In real estate, we fuel up with the leads. The data comes into our vehicle, which is the CRM, and we drive it. We do what the CRM tells us to do. That's how you stay consistent. You'll never be consistent if you don't operate that way. If you just get the leads haphazardly and you're like, oh, today's Thursday, I think I'm going to make calls today, you will never be consistent enough at the level that you need to be to get results. And so I can't reinforce that enough, that it's important that you follow it as a system.
You said so many things that I'm writing down notes, even though I'm looking straight at the camera, but I didn't want to make sure to pass on this. So for example, the first thing that you mentioned, that I know that there's a lot of people can relate to this, is you moved to a completely new city, didn't know anyone. And something that I hear all the time is agents say, oh, I just relocated to another state. I don't know anyone. How am I going to build business? And for you, it was, okay, for sale by owners. And after 6 months, you are killing it. People think you're an overnight success, but it was just putting in the work, going after the correct type of people and building a business. The next thing you mentioned, being consistent. Again, oh, I've been doing this for 2 weeks. I haven't gotten anything. Well, you have to do it all the time, consistently for months. And I love that you mentioned, over time, it gets to the point that you want to make those calls from 9 to 12 because you know what to say, the objection handlers, and it's exciting to set those appointments and take those listings. So for anyone that's listening that maybe perhaps they're loving everything that you're saying, but there's still some type of call reluctance for them to pick up the phone, and they're like, I really want to do this. What advice would you give them?
Call reluctance comes from not having the confidence. And so you work through that. Like I work with people, and I tell them in 2 weeks, I can get them to a point that they're good enough. Their confidence is 100% better than what it was before. But like the call reluctance comes from this. It comes from lack of systems. So they don't even know where to start. You will have call reluctance if you like get a list and they're not on a system in your business, like, because you don't have confidence in this list. right? But if you fuel the beast and you put these people on it in your CRM, and you just do what the CRM tells you, now you know that things are happening with these contacts. So then it's just a choice. I just got to make these contacts when it tells me to make them. And so when you begin doing that, here's what happens. You're going to get good much faster, and you're going to become more confident. And here's why confidence is so important, because you become convicted. Conviction is really important to the equation, because when you're convicted and you have conviction, which is believing what you're saying, believing in the value that you offer, you have authenticity. And authenticity is the most powerful force to leave the human body. Being authentic is the magic, is the secret sauce that makes the greats great. Is they believe what they're saying. They can make that's how you make it virtually impossible for people to tell you no, because you come to the conversation with true authenticity. And so over a period of time, you will get to a point where you're able to have authentic conversations, you're confident and you're convicted. And that is what sellers are looking for. They don't even know that they're looking for that. It's the vibe, it's the feeling that they get in believing what you're telling them. And so that happens over time. It happens, for different people. Sometimes it takes people a few days to get to that point. Sometimes it takes people a week. Like sometimes people have to change the way they talk. They have to change the way they sound. Like I know for me, when I first got into real estate, I sounded like a country redneck boy. From like you listen to me, I talk fast, and so I would skip. It was hard to understand, and I had to train myself how to talk. Some people, maybe English is not their primary language. They need to learn how to talk in a way and prospect in a way that can sound completely different than the way that they sound now. But what I've learned is everybody can do that. You can train yourself to sound different, but it takes learning and studying yourself. One of the fastest ways to get good at what I'm talking about is to listen to yourself. Like one of the ways I help people is I give them live prospecting calls. I give them calls of me calling FSBOs and expireds. And I say, I want you to listen to these. I want you to study these, and I want you to dissect them. And I also want you to do the same to your calls. I want you to record your calls. I want you to listen to those calls, and I want you to study yourself, because you're going to hear everything that you need to hear in order to make the corrections that you need to correct. It's no different than an NFL team. What do they do during the week when they're not playing football? They practice. And what is the majority of that practice? They're studying game film. They're watching themselves. They're watching their competition. They're watching film. And so watching your own game film is crucial to becoming the best at what we're talking about. And it is the surefire, fastest way to get good at communication. And really, that's what we're doing. We're communicating. We're having conversations to communicate. And in that, we're looking for the pain of our prospects, and we're offering solutions to that pain. But I can't reinforce that enough. To get better, we got to get serious. We got to study ourselves. We got to apply the changes. I mean, Lloyd, do you ever remember the first time you heard yourself?
Yes, it was horrible.
Horrible. I think we can all relate to the first time we heard our voice. You're like, what? I sound like that?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's always a painful process when you study yourself at the beginning. But I'll tell you this, even to this day, I study everything that I do. I will go, but people think I'm crazy, but I will go back and listen to this interview that I'm doing now. Why? Because that's how I study my own game film, and I want to be the best at what I do, and I'm passionate about it. And so for me, that is a big part of growth, of personal development and growth. It is studying myself so I can bring the most value to my community.
It's funny that you're mentioning that, because I remember making my first calls and I recorded them. I recorded and posted on YouTube my first for sale by owner live call, and it was horrible. I sounded scripted. But now looking back, I'm like, you know what? I have grown so much. And I think that's the thing that agents need to see, that yes, it might feel cringy looking at yourself and listening to yourself, but that's how you're going to be able to see what you need to work on and what needs to improve. So it gets to the point that when you were talking to for sale by owners, expires, or whoever it is, it sounds like a natural conversation instead of you asking questions and, trying to go somewhere. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. I still laugh at, how I sound, but that's awesome that you brought that up. And I want you to tell everyone a little bit more about your coaching program. I think this is great that you have, your coaching members, listen to themselves. But what else do you teach them?
Listen, one of the things that I do is this. I need for me to help people, I need to understand where they are and where they want to be. And so it's easy for me to say, go to hosspratt.com, download the business plan, get your free stuff. Like, you can do that. But what I would encourage you to do is book a call. It can be life changing for the right person. If you go to bookhoss.com, that's BOOKHOSS.com, you book a call. I will help you. Myself, one of my coaches, we will help you figure out where you are, where you want to be. I still do a lot of these calls. So there's a good chance you will talk to me because I'm still passionate about helping agents. This is what I do. But it's really important that you learn from people that have done it. And so I know if I can help people based on a quick 20-minute phone call and what solution is best for them. So I would encourage any listener that is listening and they want more freedom in their business, and they're looking for a coach, or they're looking for the systems, they're looking for the scripts, they're looking for the tools, it'll be well worth your time to book a call so I can guide you in the best direction. So I would encourage you to do that. Go to bookhoss.com and pick a time that works for you.
And I know that in the past couple of minutes, we talked about these essential actions that agents need to take, but obviously there's a lot more that you talk about in your book. So I don't know if you want to share with the audience that as well.
Yeah, no, I wrote this book, Listing Boss. It's the definitive blueprint for real estate success. This book is a #1 international best-selling book. If you can get it on Amazon, you can go to listingbossbook.com and get it. I'll mail you a copy of it. You just pay shipping and handling. But this book here is chock full of strategies to be able to help you get more listings. But in addition to getting the book, book a call as well, because you'll be able, it's free, doesn't cost you anything anyway, and I'll be able to best guide you.
Awesome. Well, Hoss, it has been great chatting and talking the past couple minutes. For those of you that are listening, all of his links are going to be in the description box below. So with that being said, thank you once again, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.